to take this opportunity to share with you some information concerning the Hazelwood Act, which is the free education which is provided to all those Texans who have served in the armed forces. As most of you know, there was a case that was brought to court, in federal court in Houston, and the judge there determined that the current law as written was unconstitutional. Because of that ruling, it appears that Hazelwood is going to be opened up to all veterans who reside in Texas. So there's two things that have to be done to save the Hazelwood program, and both of those are being addressed in the sessions of the legislature this year. The first thing that has to be done is that there has to be a replacement for who is eligible on the basis of citizenship. So rather than having to be born in Texas, now all that has to happen is you have to be a veteran who has served for 180 days, Title 10 or more, and be a resident in the state of Texas for 8 years or more. So that's the current, that's the new qualification that's being talked about. Now, the legislation that's being considered does two things. Number one, it will change the residency, which is the 8 years that's required, and in addition, it's going to address the ability of the veteran to be able to pass on those benefits to their dependents. Now, that's called the Legacy Program. Currently, the Legacy is available to anyone who served, and it can be passed on immediately to their dependents. The change that are being discussed are multiple. First, change the duration of the benefit from right now with no ending to being an ending of 15 years. And that would be in line with what the federal education benefits do for their Legacy program. The second thing is to make it a requirement that you actually serve for 6 or more years. Now, one of the things that we've gotten changed within that legislation is to have the service changed from active duty service to active or reserve component duty. So those of you who have qualified for Hazelwood because you served for 180 days or more on active duty, your service in the Guard counts towards that 6-year mark that you have to reach to be able to pass it on to your dependents. Now, many veterans groups are opposed to the legislation that's being put forward. What their concern is that no benefits should be taken away from veterans. Unfortunately, that's not a real viable position to have. We know that currently, the way that the law reads, Texas would go bankrupt if it had to fund Hazelwood. The legislature is not going to allow that to occur. So there is going to be legislation, and they're going to have to find a place to be able to reduce the cost. And the Legacy program is where that's going to be. Now, there is one other change to the Legacy program that's being talked about, and that's reducing the total number of hours. Currently, it's 150 hours that can be passed on. There's been discussions between 60 and 120. It appears that the committee substitute for the Senate, which is likely to be the basis for a bill that's going to emerge, that appears that it's going to be left at 120 hours it's able to be passed on. So we'll be contacting you soon if we feel that it's necessary that we contact our legislators to support this. But I would urge you to think twice about opposing this. Again, many veterans groups are just falling on their saber on this and saying we don't support any reduction in benefits. We wholeheartedly believe that we need to do something to save Hazelwood for the veteran, and we believe that this is a good compromise. If you have any questions, please feel free to call us here at the office, ask for me, and I'll be delighted to spend some time walking you through this. Thank you very much.